Were the Tartarians Gnostic Christians? Were the Tartarians Gnostic Christians? Ha! I've been looking up and digging up evidence and this and that and this and that and that and this. And you know, when you're a Gnostic, you can tell what's lies and what's truth. It's easy to figure it out when you're Gnostic, because you refuse to believe. Because when you believe, you're ignorant, and then you can be lied to, because belief gives power to ignorance and deception. Deception can't exist without belief. Anyway, so things I found. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the cross crucifix. The cross crucifix. I thought it came. I knew that the Gnostics had something to do with this. Why is the Christ cross in the crucifix? Okay, so I explained in other videos that this is a Gnostic cross put in the crucifix. But when I thought, who did it? Who's the one who did it? Who did that? Ah, I'm coming to know now that it was the Tartarians who did that. Okay, now watch. Okay, the Tartarians been around for thousands of years, long time. I mean, and we weren't always called Tartarians. Okay, idealists is what I'd say we were. Okay, the children of light, the seed of Seth, the children of light, the living children, not the materialist children. Okay, from the reptilians that descend from God, from Yaldabaoth, who was a dragon. Okay, right. So they way back. So you'll see, because I'm gonna show you where to look. All right, where these buildings, there's buildings like that are thousands of years old, thousands. Okay, when you go to like in New Mexico or places out and you see these mountains, they're not really mountains. They don't look like mountains. They look like melted cathedrals, like when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone. The gods destroyed us, our stuff, you know, destroyed our civilizations. Well, they did that everywhere, the whole earth, all over the place this happened. So all of our, all these ancient kick-ass, like technology places, like the pyramids and all that, and ancient big, that you can't even see what it looks like, and that's melted, like what is it, in Farmington, Shiprock, okay? One of my cousins that lives over there said that it was it's an old ancient volcano. That's what they got everybody believing. It ain't no volcano. I know what volcanoes look like. I've seen volcanoes. There's volcanoes on the West Mesa. There's volcanoes. When you see a volcano, you know, then you see the lava mass that makes a mesa from all the lava that came from the volcano. Okay, well, over here at Shiprock, there ain't no lava mesa. There's no lava anywhere. There ain't no lava. There's no mesa. There's just this giant cathedral-looking thing that's melted down with three walls, okay, coming from it. Now, right there is right next to Four Corners, where the Four Corners, where it's New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, and Arizona, and you could put your one hand here, one foot here. You could be in all four states at one time. The Four Corners, okay. Well, this was the ancient Three Corners, because there's three walls, and you go over there and look, you can see their bricks, the giant bricks, and these are walls. That's not a stream of lava went in a perfectly and made brick walls. No, there's three walls with three civilizations that unite right here where that cathedral city was. That's what it looks like to me, okay? Check it out yourself. Look up Shiprock. Right, and check it out for yourself. I showed it in another video before I showed this. Anyway, so that was an ancient cathedral, the way we were so technically advanced, that it got melted down by the materialist rulers who hated on us. Okay, it goes way back, and I'll show you. But let me get to this cross. Okay, so this is why I'm telling you that. All right, because before Christ came, okay, at where it says where zero is, where before zero is before Christ, and after God died is after zero is after death, right? AD, BC and AD. Okay, well, before Christ came, Christ who knew about Christ? Who knew about Christ? Nobody really knew about Christ. They knew the Holy Spirit, and they knew things, right? So the old old buildings before that were made before Christ, that are thousands of years old, way old, ancient. They got pictures on them of freaky stuff like angels and gargoyles and dragons and demons and sexual stuff and all kinds of wacko shit, because that's what was going on. That was before Christ came, okay? That's how those buildings look. And then they just change them and modify them, and you can't see those kind of buildings anymore, but in the old pictures you can, and I'll show you when I show you where to look at to the end of the video. Well, so that's how they looked before, because it was before Christ came. Then after Christ came, well, the Tartarians realized when the knowledge of Christ came, the Gnostic scriptures of Christ, when he came, they realized, whoa, Christ, and they knew, they put two and two together, they put everything together of the past with Norea, Seth, and everything. They knew what the Gnostic, that they were children of light, they learned the Gnostic truth. So, see this symbol right here is the Christ symbol, okay? This symbol right here is the God symbol. The crucifix is God's symbol. This cross is the Christ symbol. It represents the eternal realm, the pleroma, which came to be from Christ, okay? And then you see the picture of Christ going like this, make the two in one, which I always say make the two in one, is making the mother and the father together, putting them together, the perfect thought and the perfect mind, put them together within you. Come to be, come to know, make the two in one. Well, he's like this, and he's got this symbol behind his head with N-O-W on it. Now means eternity. It means eternal. Eternity doesn't have a beginning or end. It just was, is, and will always be. It always existed. That's the Father Holy. That's the divine source, Father Holy. It never had a beginning. That's why a circle represents it, okay? And so then this is the Holy Spirit, who had to be the first to come forth with the Holy Spirit. So, it's 5 points. That's why the 5-pointed star represents her. We're made in her shape, okay? Well, so behind Christ's head is a cross with a circle. That's what it represents. And make the two in one, okay? And it says now, and that's what this book is all about. This book's about showing you that time, with the crucifix and the dead God up there, is this, and that now, time or now is the cross, behind Christ's head. So these are different. Now and time are opposites. Time or now. So, okay, so now, so that's what's up. So, what did they, so these, the Tartarians, when they found this out, they started changing their cathedrals and everything, which were power plant cathedrals. They weren't churches or anything like that. Okay, they were power plant cathedrals which lit up all the cities. We had free energy. We were flying around, cars without gasoline. There was a picture at an auto place on the wall, big giant picture, where I went to put some brake shoes in the car, and I seen it and I go, whoa! And it's an old ancient Tartarian picture of Chicago or New York. The cars are driving around, no smoke's coming out. There's no wires anywhere. And it's got all the cool antiquity things on the buildings. And I told the guys, I said, you see any wires? You see any smoke? How is all these guys driving around, and how is this going, and light and everything working without wires, without electricity like that? It's free energy electricity, that's why. And they're just looking at it, and yeah, there's no smoke. No, there ain't no wires. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah. Anyway, so, let's see. So over here, so I'm thinking, so then the Tartarians, in their buildings, the cathedrals, the power plants and everything, which are like this, they, with using the 369 of Tesla knowledge, right, to get the free energy, they started to change the tops, because the Christians, the Christians are going to want to put crucifixes, and the Christians went big. They had Rome behind them. They're just turning everybody into a Christian, but a false Christian, not a Gnostic Christian, not a knowing Christian. Turning everybody into a believing Christian, you know, with the New Testament, which are altered scriptures from the Gnostic scriptures, okay? Anyways, I got videos on that and in the books too. So they're putting up these crucifixes now, right? But it was the Tartarians first. They got slick. So they created this. They made this cross, this crucifix cross. This looks like this, like where the cross of Christ is in here, added to the crucifix, so that those who know what's up. They said, okay, here's the lie, here's the death, here's this death that we are to worship this dead God, and here's the truth of Christ. So we know, okay, so we, all right, so this came from the Tartarians, okay? All right, so now, let's go, I'm going to get to the history, okay? First I'll get to history, like the history. Now I have a timeline here. I did another video called Unity versus Division, okay? That video, it's got a timeline that explains things, okay? I'm going to show you some videos to look at, right? I'll tell you, I'll explain at the end, but they're calling, now they're starting to say the ages, okay? The Hopi Indians said there were 5 worlds and we're in the 5th world, okay? Then now they're saying eras, this era and that era, okay? It's not eras, it's ages, okay? Now, when I was in college and took anthropology, I was told, and even before that, and even a little after that, that we are all Cro-Magnon men. That Cro-Magnon man was here 120,000 years ago. And that we are the Cro-Magnon man. Well, all that makes sense and locks in with the Christ, with the Gnostic truth. Because Adam and Eve came here 120,000 years ago from another planet called Paradise. And in the Gnostic scriptures it says, because she became the first Gnostic and ate the apple to know, and God got mad because she knows now, she's not a believer. So he threw Adam and Eve out of Paradise, which was another planet, and sent them to the farthest part of Tartarus. Okay, they end up calling the universe Tartarus, which means hell. Okay, I'll show you. Religion tried to they like that because because it's putting down the Tartarians. I'll show you this. Okay, send them to the farthest part of Tartarus, right here, this planet, Earth. Okay, so then Adam and Eve were here 120,000 years ago, and if you split this up into 30,000 years, then December 21st, 2012 ends the 4th age and starts the 5th age. Okay, and that's 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, 30,000. 30,000 years from 120. It's in my book and it all makes sense. Okay, so these ages, they're calling it that this was the golden age. Okay, look it. If you read the Bible from where Seth is born, okay, Cain killed Adam. Cain killed Abel, okay? Because Cain was the son. Cain and Abel were both the sons of God and Eve. They were not the sons of Adam and Eve, okay? God was trying to make an eternal child and he couldn't. He thought if he did this to Eve that he could do that, but he couldn't, right? All right, so that's the only killing is Cain killing Abel, okay? Because they're God children, they're evil, okay? Then from Seth all the way to the Tower of Babel, you'll see we're not killing each other. None of us are killing each other. And we're living united. We're living united, see, speaking one language throughout the earth. Just like with free energy. Ships going through the air, flying ships everywhere, all over the place. Free energy, free. We're united. Why? Because Nimrod and Norea, and we had powerful... we had power to protect ourselves from the gods. Until then, at the Tower of Babel, God splits our brain and divides us. The unity's gone, and that's the first, biggest, most horrible reset, was that the split of the brain. Because since then till now, we're divided left and right. When the mind was together and one, we were all united, could read each other's minds, and did all kinds of incredible things. Okay, but now because of the split, You know, everybody's divided. Belief divides everybody. Knowledge unites everybody. Okay, the truth can only be known. The truth can't be believed. Okay, so the Tower of Babel is where our brain got split. Okay, so from here to the flood is 3 ages. Then from the Great Flood to 2012, December 21st, right here, is the 5th age. Okay? I mean, is the 4th age. Is the 4th age. From the Tower of Babel to 2012, December 21st, is the 4th age. Now, look it. Before 2012 was coming, all kinds of people, Sukalos from Ancient Aliens, and all these people saying, the end of the world is coming, the end of the world, 2012, December 21st. And I, too, in my book here, The Secret and the Truth of the Ages, which tells you that this book exposes the many truths and secrets kept hidden and unknown to mankind throughout time. It will explain things that have been kept concealed for centuries, only to be revealed again within each of its readers. Be prepared to realize that all we have ever been taught has been lies. This book explains the truth that has been the biggest secret of the ages. Okay, in here, I say that the world's going to end in 2012, December 21st. And it did. And I'm the only one that was right. Everyone else was wrong. Because what they were saying that the world's going to end, they're like, there's going to be bombs and fire and it's going to blow up and everybody's going to be dead. That's what they mean. The world is the system of things. And the system of things started to get destroyed and starting to diminish and starting to go away starting from December 21st, 2012. December 21st. And that's what I'm saying in my book, and that's why my book still survived and was not debunked, right? Because the world ended, not the earth or the people on it. That's what I'm explaining. So, okay, anyway. So, why was I doing that? Because, all right. So, because from here to here, and so from 2012 December 21st, notice how everything is getting better, but they want to make it look like it's not. They tried their best to do things to us, you know. And you know what I'm talking about. The last 4 years back, 5 years back, that was the worst. Okay? Well, this is also the harvest, and the weeds are being exposed, being pulled up by the roots. You see it happening every day, all the time. All my videos from the past, everything that I said, is happening now. Stuff's happening now. It's like prophecy, right? Anyway, it's just going to keep happening. Everything's going to keep getting better. Quit worrying about, don't get scared. They're trying to scare you with this and scare you with that. Come on. Okay, look. So, let's get back to this, which this is what we're doing. All right. So, now, so these 4 ages, in the other videos, they're trying to say that these eras, that that over here when the chaos started, that they're saying that Gog and Magog came, that some entity came from a from a portal and came in. That's what ruined everything. They're always trying to blame it on some entity. God did it. It was the devil. It's like, that's not what happened, man. They take this stuff, and a lot of these people just want you to dig their videos and subscribe and click on them. That's all they really want. They're doing other people's content and then putting it up there. Please subscribe, put a like, please help, la 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 la, donate, la 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 la. Look, man, they should be happier even just looking at their video, all right? I'm just happier just checking out my video. I'm not asking for likes or subscribe or donate. If you want something, you can buy my books and my stuff, right? You can buy that stuff. And then it's yours, then you have it. You didn't just donate money for nothing. All right, anyway, so they're trying to say that this entity, like just like when they said that the archons are entities, they're saying that all archon means is ruler. And the first rulers were the gods. They were the first archons, the first rulers. And they're dead and they're not here no more. There are no more archon god rulers, okay? So they're not entities, okay? They're always trying to make up some weirdo stuff. People just want you to, you know. Okay, so these 3 ages happen. Okay, now I'll get to this, but I'm gonna go here first. I'm gonna go here to Noah, okay, to show you something. Okay, on the bloodlines, the bloodline of Noah, when you look to this in other places, religion, whatever, Japheth, the three sons, there were three sons, Ham, Japheth, and Shem. Japheth, they're not showing you anything. They're not showing you any bloodline or anything from Japheth. And Japheth's son Turk was adopted. This is not bloodline. Okay? Pay attention. All right? So they're not showing you this, but they're showing you this and this. Okay. Now remember, we all come from Seth. And if you look at the bloodlines in the beginning of the Bible, you'll see that Enoch took off and started building some city, whatever. No, not Enoch. Cain took off, and nobody's allowed to kill him because he had, God made it that you can't kill him. Cain took off and started building a city, and then an Enoch came from this Cain and built great cities, okay? And then there's a bloodline. It don't match the other bloodline from Seth. From Seth is different. How can Enoch come from Cain and Seth? There's two Enochs. You got to pay attention because it's all contradiction. The Bible's all wacko. That's how stupid people, like liars and cheaters, they're stupid too. So they'll do dumb stuff so you figure them out. Well, those bloodlines are all messed up. Anyways, let's get over here. The bloodline from Noah. Okay? Ham, Japheth, and Shem. Well, from Shem is the bloodline to Abraham, who had Israel and Ishmael, which Israel came Judaism, and from Ishmael came Islam. So these two cultures, brother cultures, are killing each other over God's name, and they've been doing it for thousands of years. Anyway, okay, so that's this bloodline that God follows and wants to keep his blood. He's putting his bloodline into here, all the way, in all bunch of different places. He's putting his bloodline in here. Remember, Abraham's wife couldn't get pregnant. She was 80-something. And then an angel or something got her pregnant, and she had these two. See? Okay? Now what? Okay. Now Ham had the son Cush, who had Nimrod. Now remember, Nimrod united the whole earth, had us all united, speaking one language throughout the earth. And Nimrod was a great king. Okay? So he was the greatest king we ever had. The whole earth united, speaking one language, cool, free energy everywhere. Come on, right? All right, so then I found, looking for Tartarian history of Tartaria, and I found the bloodline here, which they write their history of their bloodline. Okay? So from Japheth comes Turk. Okay? And Turk, it says adopted son, not bloodline. So where did Turk come from? From the seed of Seth? Or where? But he didn't come from it don't say he came from Ham, it don't say he came from Shem, it just said adopted. Duh. Okay? Remember, the Australian Aborigines, they survived the flood. They didn't have no ark. Right? Okay, anyway. So, from Turk, which became Turkey, the place Turkey, the son came Taunak. Then from Taunak came Tatar. That's where they got the Tartarian name from Tatar. Now Tatar had a brother named Mogul, right? They're brothers. So the Tatar Khan and Mogul Khan. Khan means ruler, okay? Tatar Khan and Mogul Khan, brothers. That's the Moguls, with Gingis Khan and this. Okay, all right. So that's what they're. Now, Persia was the main, the known civilization of the Tartarians, and they were the shipbuilders, and who knows what they built? Flying ships too, all kinds of shit, right? And so they ended up in Iran, which that used to be Persia. Persia is Iran, the Persians, right? Okay. Well, it changed the name to Iran because later on, the Germans decided that they knew that they could call themselves Aryans, that they knew that they descended from Persia, so they changed the name to Iran. They changed it to that. Then they moved up north and became all through China, all through up Asia, up north, and then spread to all this way where the Germans are, the Norwegians, the English, all the the bloodline just spread, right? It just spread. Genghis Khan was not a short, fat, like a barbarian guy. He was a tall, redhead, blue-eyed Aryan. He was Tartarian. This is the power of the Tartarians. Genghis Khan, okay, Genghis Khan was Tartarian, all right? He was tall. He was like a giant, like they call this giant. If you're over 7 feet tall, they're going to call you a giant. He was tall, okay? And he was, so everything they tell us, like everything they do, all these movies and TV shows and all this stuff, cowboys and Indians, that we're running around shooting cowboys, shooting arrows and cowboys and Indians. Then they make these Viking movies, Viking and Vikings Valhalla and The Lost Kingdom, where everybody's fighting with swords and killing each other and robbing for little pots of gold and stuff, and like they're all dirty. Everybody's dirty, you know, and nasty and all this stuff, right? You're like, that's what they want us to think, to believe that. What program are you watching? What program are you getting programmed from by watching it? Us to believe that that's how it was back then. No. No, man. They had weapons, badass weapons. They had flying ships. Come on. It wasn't like that. Look, okay. So, I'm going to get back to this bloodline, to this, because this is cool here. But first I'm going to go to, let's see, first I'm going to go get right here because I want to show you something, okay? Okay, I found some literature. Looked in, and I think it might be in some of the videos I'm going to show you later. But I found this literature that was written in 1780. 1780. Now remember, the United States started in 1776. So this is just like 4 years after that this was written down. Okay, that showing the existence of Tartarians. Okay, what? Literature of Tartaria history. They call, now this is a person talking about who the Tartarians are, what they're like and what they're doing, you know, what they're about, okay? They call the Pope and other Christians dogs and idolaters. Tartars use magical science. Magical science? Free energy knowledge? Free energy travel? Free energy everything? They use magical science and art of divination and can interpret their dreams. Okay? That God speaks from within them. That God speaks from within them. Now we know they're going to say God because they're religious people. They don't know what we know, right? But it's Christ speaks from within us. God was out there. That's what they're trying to say. That God speaks from within. No, Christ speaks from within them. Okay? They knew this. But, you know, they're going to say God because what do they know? They don't know. Okay? The people writing this. Okay? From within them. They predict the weather and work with the moon. Okay? Now watch here. They elected their own leaders, no bloodlines. Okay, now right here, the fourth pope, they're writing about that the fourth pope threatened them for tribute. They didn't pay. Okay? Well, look at the fourth pope. That's not too much long past, after Peter, who was the first pope, right? The Christianity, the Roman Catholic Church, they're going around trying to conquer the whole world, to take over. Christianity wants to conquer everybody, take over everything, right? And they were doing it for a long time, burning people alive because they don't believe, calling us witches, us Gnostics, calling us witches. Well, okay, so they threatened for tribute, but then Genghis Khan, like the Tartarians there, who were called barbarians or whatever, They said like this. They said, we're not we're not paying you no tribute. You know. Now, if there were a horde of barbarian hordes, could they not been conquered by Rome and the church and all these people to go conquer them? They couldn't conquer them. They didn't. They couldn't. Okay. So, right here in 1780, literature speaking of existing Tartars, existing Tartars. They're speaking about them in 1780. Okay. Now watch. I'll show you more. In a little bit, I'll show you more. I got a lot of stuff here, man. Okay, so I got to try to remember all this. Okay, oh, I remember I said something earlier that about Sarah, that Abraham couldn't get his wife Sarah pregnant, and that an angel came and got her pregnant. Okay, I said that she had these two sons. No, I was wrong. Because somebody's going to catch this. She only had Israel, okay? Ishmael was an older son who came from Abraham and an Egyptian slave girl. Okay? Let me clear that up before. So, no, that's not true. Because it's okay if you find something I did a mistake here. It's cool. It's cool because we want to get whatever, we want to get all the right we can out. It doesn't matter where the right comes from. If I do something wrong, you know, then when I'm wrong, promptly admit it. It's part of my my program of sobriety. When I'm wrong, promptly admit it. Yeah, okay. So anyway, so then, here's what I show you here. So now I'm going to go over here, because I'm going to show you something. This is cool. This is it. This is so cool. All right. Now, it is written and said, if you look for it, you find the truth, that the Tartarians' fallout was through the 16th century. That's the 1700s. 1700 is when they fell out. Okay? Now what? 1700 is when they fell out, and 1776 is when America started in this country. Okay, let me go back a little bit ways. Okay, let me go back a little ways. Okay, remember when they said Columbus discovered America and all the stuff they tell us in the history books, it's not true? Okay, notice this. Remember they said Cortez went to Mexico with 200 soldiers and wiped out all the Aztecs? Get out of here. And then they try to tell us that the Native Americans were wiped out because they only had a bow and arrow, but the Spaniards had muskets. A musket shoots one bullet. Boom! Then you have to put gunpowder in, put the ball through this thing here, pull up the musket, boom! By the time you've done that, I already shot you with 10 arrows. Alright? Alright, now look. Just have to throw that in. Okay, no, they were wiped out by plague. One of the Spaniards had bubonic plague, and it wiped out the Aztecs. Do we know how the Aztecs look? We see paintings and drawings of them, and I see different in paintings, all these old paintings and stuff. I see different skin tones and different looks of people everywhere, especially in the Egyptian paintings. We were all like this throughout the whole earth. Okay. Now, so the Aztecs were tall. Maybe how tall were they? Were they 12 feet tall? Were they? Come on. They don't tell us, but we know they were tall. Okay? What did they look like? Exactly. Now, look. That's just right there. We know everything about the Native American, so-called Native American Indians, who are really supposed to be called the First Nation people. They're all wiped out by diseases. I think we got wiped out by diseases a few times. Not just there. Okay? But watch this. So we don't know what the Indians, so-called Indians, look like in the East Coast. The Mohicans, these guys, those, I don't remember all the names. But I know this, that the Cherokee people are white Indians. Like Aryan Indians? Yeah? What did all these other tribes look like? Were there some more white Indians? Tartarians? What do we know? They got to make us think that they were all savages, red people. I ain't never seen a red person. I never even seen a yellow person. I never seen a white person or a black person. I just see different tones of flesh. Lighter and darker. But brown is would be the tone of brown back and forth. Yeah, whatever, let me get away from that stuff. But anyway, so they're wiped out by diseases. Okay, notice, I seen a picture of the White House, a couple of pictures of it. One picture, the White House is up, and there's way more stuff on it. These kind of stuff on it, right? Way more stuff on the White House. And then there's nothing, just weeds and dirt, and there's no city, nothing there, just it by itself. I'm like, then another picture, and that antiquity is taken off. All the cool stuff is taken off, and it's just the White House theme, right? It's there. So, they're going to try to tell us that in 1776, when America started, they built the White House over here. These guys, who was on horses and buggies, built this incredible White House, that building right here. And look, let me show you something. This is when the Tartarians went down, lost their power, right here. And this is only 24 years to 1800. Only 24 years to 1800, 1770 to 1800. This is where they diminished and went out. This whole United States was Tartarian civilization with cathedrals, like castles everywhere, all over the place. The kind of buildings you see that look like this, and they got crucifixes up on them, and they turned them into churches, and they turned them into schools, and they turned them into libraries and insane asylums, all these kind of buildings, government buildings. Oh, they're all government buildings, wow. These are old, ancient, thousands-of-year-old Tartarian buildings. And they want us to believe that they built them, okay? They want us to believe, what is it? It's called the World's Fairs. They want us to believe that these World Fairs, that they built all of that. Oh, we're going to show you what we can do, and we're going to do a World's Fair in Chicago. Then we're going to tear it down 6 months later like nothing. They didn't build it. It was there, okay? People were wiped out I'll show you in 1800. It was there, okay? It was there. The buildings was there. That whole city was there. The whole country had all kinds of Tartarian buildings everywhere, all over the place. All over the earth. Okay? You can look anywhere, all over the earth, and the same kinds of buildings are everywhere. Alright? So, they blew them up and destroyed them. The main reason why, okay, why did they do this? Why? The main reason why is free energy. They don't want us to have free energy. They want us to pay for everything. Okay? That's the main reason. Okay, well, so, you see, I'm looking at this White House, I'm like, they didn't build that. They didn't build none of this stuff. You'll see, because I'll show you where to look, all kinds of stuff built, and it doesn't make sense. Like, there's this, you'll see it, I'll show you where to look, this structure, monument, bomb, kick, so incredible that you have to have super technology to make this. It's in France, and they're saying that it's a tribute to Napoleon. What? You don't see no Napoleonic figures there. Napoleon was shooting with muskets, and then the way they were dressed in the little hats. No, it's Viking-looking dudes with swords like this, and armory and stuff like this, and all kind of different pictures of all kind of different stuff that has nothing to do with what the French looked like or what the French were. There's no French guys up, nothing. It's completely a big major lie. You'll see when I show you where to look. Okay. So now watch. So from 1700 over here like this, it's when the Tartarians started to diminish. And notice these guys are talking about them right here. And I'll show you later where from the 1920s to the early 1950s, the last of the known Tartarians were eliminated throughout extinction or exile. This happened. You could look that up. The last known ones, to get them wiped out. I'll tell you more about that later on after I get past this. Okay, so So watch what happens here. So right over here, 1800s, okay, and the 1900s, right around here, at the end of, right here it says the World Fairs, the destruction of Tartarian building cities. Right here, okay, is where at the end of 1900 is where they have the World Fairs to destroy as much, the big major cities of Tartaria. They call them World Fairs all over the earth. It's bullshit, okay? Anyway, it was for it to destroy that, so we don't know. So we can't know, right? So that's what happened here. Now, notice, they're falling out, no more Tartarians. 1776 starts, that's only 20 years, 24 years up to 1800. That's not too long, 1760 to 1800, where they're saying that they fell out, and then America starts. All of a sudden, America starts. They start right here all of a sudden. Okay? Then it keeps going. Then in 1800, it's only 24 years, up to 1800. They're saying that they built this building, and they built that building, and they built this building, that they build them here. Liars. Then we keep going all the way to the Civil War, is 1861 to 1865. Well, right around here, they're saying they built this building, and they built that building. All right? Now, the Civil War was used to blow up more buildings, to blow up as many buildings as they could, right? Then, it keeps going over here. Then they destroy the World's Fair buildings. Then 1900 comes, right? Well, right here, 1900, right in here, 1907, something like that, Rockefeller is when they decided we can't use energy that's free. They have to pay for it. Yeah, okay? And so then, here comes 1900. Now, from 1900 to 2024 is only 24 years. Okay? So, how long ago, 24 and 24 plus 100 and 100, that's 48, 248 years ago. Only 248 years ago is when this country started. And we built those buildings, all that stuff. I don't think so. Those buildings are way ancient, way older. You'll see. You'll get it. Everyone's gonna see. Everyone's gonna get it. All right. So now, did I explain that? Yeah. Okay. Now what? 1900. Okay. 1914 to 1918 is World War I, where they destroyed all kinds of buildings, Tartarian buildings. Then World War II, 1939 to 1945, they destroyed a massive amount of Tartarian buildings. I saw a picture of them in Germany, wasted. They say that, when they say there's a fire, how does concrete, brick, masonry buildings burn? They bombed them, they shot lasers down, like, remember Hawaii, remember California, and now what, Long Island? How are the houses blown up, but the trees aren't burned? The trees didn't burn. Okay? Anyway, so they blew them up. So I saw in World War II this picture of Germany all devastated by bombs, but one badass super power plant cathedral of Tartaria is standing by itself. But all the other ones are blown up. Because they're going to get rid of all that so nobody else can have free energy anymore. Keep this one so they can still keep having free energy without telling us. And turn it into their government place. Yeah. It's so cool when you can go in, man, and look out. When you go in, it shows you where to look out. If you just look out, you're going to be lied to. You go in first where the truth is, the Christ. Oh, I'm grateful, Father Holy, that you show me this. Now your gratitude just gave a confirmation to the Father Holy within that this is true. I am grateful, Father Holy, that you showed me this. Not, please show me this. That don't work. That I am grateful, Father Holy, that you showed me this. Because you are one with Him. Okay? You want to be sorcerer. In union with the source. That doesn't mean you're bad because you're a sorcerer. It means you're in union, you know. That's what it means. Okay. So So to find all this, it's cool, man. Man, I wish you guys could know how I could see how I see things. And anyway, there's some of you who can do that. All right, so okay, I think that's enough about. Okay, yeah, but so World War II, so they blew up the buildings. Okay, well now you'll notice when you see the pictures when I show you the other thing, which we're gonna get to. Okay, let me get over here now. Now let's go over here. Okay, free energy masonry building. This is how kind of how they look. There are all kinds of different ones. They look all kinds of different ways, but you'll recognize them once you get in this one. Okay, now watch. The Freemasons did not build these buildings. They are called Freemasons because they took over these free energy masonry buildings for free. That's why they're called the Freemasons. The Freemasons also started America at the same time of the total decline of the Tartarian age. Oh, that's a coincidence. All right. So, okay, cool. So I got through on here. So now let me go over here. All right. Now I'm going to show you this. Okay. I read this to you already. From the 1920s to the early 1950s, the last of the known Tartarians were eliminated through execution or exile. Stalin and Eisenhower, you know, this is like after World War II. Stalin and Eisenhower signed to eliminate Tartaria from history. They did. But Putin and Trump signed to bring back the truth of Tartaria. The age of truth coming out. I look at Putin. He looks Cossack. He don't look like, you know, a lot of countries, they don't have their own, like Mexico, okay? The Mexican-American War. Santa Anna, he was not Mexican. He was not even Spanish. I think he was French. Like they'll have some different kind of leader ruling their country, you know, that's not a native, right? Well, Putin looks Cossack. He looks like he's Tartarian, like he's, anyway, they're bringing it back, the knowledge. Man, I don't know what's going on here, because we got Elon Musk, who I dig him from what he's doing, finding out all the corruption that's been going on for the last 60 years, okay? And nobody knew because they're only watching 4 channels that just lie to you. And now we know because of the internet, right? Well, the outer net and the internet. Because this is the outernet. This is the internet where we all unite our minds again. That's the real internet, okay? All right. Well, so what was I getting at? See, this knowledge can pull you like this, back and forth. You're talking about this and this. Well, this. She's like, chill out, knowledge, calm down a little bit. All right, where was I? Yeah, okay, I was talking here. Yeah, that they're going to bring back the truth. All right, okay. Now what? Here's 3 videos, all right? 3 videos you can check out. This first video is called, because see, like, I say that I don't watch other people's stuff. I don't check out other people's, whatever. But I watch these Tartarian building movies and these Tartarian stuff so I can get knowledge by watching it. You know, checking it out. So I can get, right? So I'm letting you know, I'm not like trying to like, you gotta get it from me. I'm the one. Nah. Wherever we can get it from, as long as we get it, all right? So I'm still gonna give you this. So this first video is called Tartaria, the mysterious advanced civilization explained. Old world. Then it's the person whose channel it is Decoded Origins. Now, when you check it out, you're gonna see it's not that long. It's about 8 minutes. but you're going to see what I'm talking about. They have pictures of buildings that have been destroyed already that you can never see again, but they got the pictures of them, okay? One of these buildings at place 208, when you stop it at 208, you're going to see this giant building, and then you're going to see little tiny people walking around. Then you're going to see the steps that go up to the building, and the people are smaller than the step. That you can see how a giant had to walk up those steps to get up there, okay? Look, we are all descendants of the Tartarian culture. We were taller, we lived longer, we were united throughout the earth. And most important of all, we had free energy. 369, dude. Alright? So yeah. Oh yeah, okay. The second video. This one, The Rise and Fall of Tartaria by Lucius Aurelian. Okay, this video's long. Got a bunch of cool stuff and a lot of cool pictures, a lot of stuff that makes you go, wait a minute, what? Only thing is, this guy starts talking, he's the one that starts talking about Gog and Magog, that an entity came and destroyed them and did. Okay, you'll see when you'll see. Now, I saw in this other video too, that there's a bunch of wacko videos, like as soon as something comes out, wow, they just adds more crap to it and try to do this, try to do that. There's a religious one. There's a religious one that they're trying to say that the Tartarians were the devil people and that they were no good and they're evil and they're crap and they're horrible and all this stuff. Yeah, but that's just what that guy's saying, what he's saying. This is what I found. This is literature that I found, that I got, that's actual literature that was written. That's, okay, I got documentation stuff and looking for facts. That's just what somebody says this and says that. You know, because what is religion? They just say. Religion just says, believe. But you can't show me to know. So then I can know that it's true. Believe, have faith and believe. Wait, I have faith in knowing the truth, but I don't need to believe so that I can be ignorant and be lied to. Okay? Anyway, so yeah, so there was that one, and there was it just just blows me away, man. How oh, okay, I still got more. All right, then there's this third video. Now watch this. This video I found, it says, it's called The 13-Month Tartarian Calendar. It's from Tales of the Old World. The 13-Month Tartarian Calendar. Check it out. So is the Tartarians the ones that had this calendar? They were using the calendar, the 13-month calendar, because it was more accurate, more perfect. These guys were the bomb. Come on. We were the bomb. It was us. And then they got wiped out. Right around here was probably wiped out. They were wiped out. It says here that they were killing them and everything. I mean, come on. They're the ones. Check out the video about the 13-month Tartarian calendar. Wow. Here it is. Now, I'm wondering, because when I made this calendar, I copywrote it. And then the Library of Congress gave me the copyright. That means no one else never even thought. That means no one else ever decided to copyright it. What? So they just, because it was just out of everybody's mind. Okay, they didn't ever copyright it. When you watch the video, you're going to see that they were talking about making the 13-month calendar in the early 1900s. They were all talking about doing it. Yeah, this is perfect, this is greater, this is better. We can have a world holiday at the last day of the year, and it's more accurate, it's perfect, wow. But then religion stopped it. The Jews and religion because of the Sabbath and all this other baloney, because they want 12 because they know about the 12 gods and 12, they didn't want it. Well, this is a different age. This is the age of knowledge now, and it's coming now. It's coming. All the knowledge is coming, okay? And so here it is. This is that calendar that I made now, and copyright it. That way they can't steal it from me or try to mess it up or stop it, whatever. If I was you, I'd get this. I really get this, because when this happens and it comes out and you got this, you got the first one. Anyway, whatever. By the way, there's another a Gnostic, a Freeman that I know that's in the core. There's a small core group that I talk to because they completely know. They know. So, anyways, she is creating a 13-month calendar specifically for women. It's got, each month has a woman hero in it, like Joan of Arc or Queen Elizabeth. It's cool. I've been accepting, like, yeah, that's cool, yeah. The whole thing's going to be really cool. And it's specifically for women because women menstruate with the moon 13 times a year. And with this calendar, it puts you on track, and with the moon, it puts you on track with your, that you don't have the menstruation, you don't have the PMS, and you're cool with it, because you know you're not unaware, you're not off track with this Gregorian 12-month calendar. Like Julius Caesar made first, after this one, Julius Caesar goes and makes the Julian calendar, 12 months, and then it's all wacko where December is 10, November is 9, October is 8, September is 7, you know what I mean? Like that. But then that means that January is the 12th month? Right? Wait, no. That would be December. No, that means January would be the 11th month, then February would be the 12th month. Does it? Let's see, 10, that's December, January, 11, February 12. Yeah. Okay, well, where's the 13th? Anyway, this one doesn't start like that. And then, of course, Pope Gregory comes and changes it and make it even worse. But anyways, that's to keep women off track. Did religion love women? No. Did God love women? No. Okay? They're female, by the way, not woman. And so, here it is. Here it is, because this starts on the solstice. December 21st, it starts the 1st, which makes every month Friday the 13th, the full moon. Yeah. Anyways, so she's making one specifically for women. It's going to be the bomb, man. It's almost done. And that's going to be the next project of, yeah, she's doing a great job. She can see, okay? And then there was another female I got to give props to. She inspired me to write all these books. Okay, I wrote this book first, then I rewrote it, or like republished it, with changed a tiny bit. But she is the one who got it translated into Spanish, so now you can read it in Spanish. And then she inspired me to write this book and this book. And that's Savia de Vidasi. She's in here on Acknowledgement. She wrote Acknowledgement. Savia de Vidasi, another Gnostic, another female. Also, she showed me something I forgot about, that I didn't think about, because there was another video I did and I didn't explain it, about the bells. We had bells in here. There were bells. We had these big, giant bells. There's a thing in France, it's like big, giant, huge. It's like 20 stories high, and it's just a big arch thing. It had a giant bell in it. Well, look, the Tesla knowledge 369 for free energy, right? It's frequency, vibration, energy. Well, with just the bell, you got frequency and vibration. Because once you hit that bell, ding, it's ringing at a frequency of a certain frequency. which is probably 432 frequency, nature's frequency. And it's vibrating. It's vibrating. So now it's going to vibrate the building that works with the with the Tesla knowledge, with the free energy to get the ether from the sky. All right? That's what these bells were for. How come all the bells are gone? Why did they take them all down? Duh. See? They take away what worked for us. But we're figuring it out. We're going to bring it back and make it even better probably, right? Okay? So, yeah, so the bells. So they took them down. They took them away. What was I going to go to? Oh, yeah, I was talking about Elon Musk. What did? Okay. What's going on, the new regime is working great. They're kicking ass, cleaning up everything. The truth is coming out, pulling out all the weeds, getting rid of this evil people, getting rid of them. Okay, Elon Musk, I did what he's doing, you know, finding all the weeds so we could get them out. But he's not all the way with us, because you can't call your business Tesla and then have plugs and plug it in. Tesla stands for no plugs, no wires. Tesla stands for energy that comes from the ether. Tesla was going to put towers, he made one, all over the earth, and we would have had free energy all over the earth. But then, of course, the materialist rulers stopped that, right? Well, Elon Musk can't be calling his business Tesla if he's got plugs and it plugs in. And most of all, Tesla stood for free energy. So Elon Musk, if you can make a car for real cheap that runs on free energy and we never have to put gas or anything in it ever again, then you can call your place Tesla, okay? There's a guy in Africa who just made a car that runs on free energy. So I don't know what, you know, and then going to the moon, his rockets going up, he thinks we can go to Mars. You can't go to Mars, it's too damn cold, it's too far away. There's all kinds of reasons. Aliens ain't going to Mars. They come over here where the water is. They ain't stupid. They're not going to go to Venus or Mars. The water's over here. Life's over here. There ain't no life on Mars. There's no life anywhere except where there's liquid water right here. So all that money you got, it's your money. Do what you want. But instead of sending rockets up to blow up and blow up, all that wasting money, you could have helped people here. You could have helped them. That rocket going up there, you could have rebuilt everybody's houses in California. Instead of helping them to try to make those new cities, those smart cities where we're worse slaves then. Anyways, okay, so the thing with Tesla, the free energy, that thing, okay, nah. Alright, so I think I got everything here. I think so. Let me think, would I missed anything? No, looks like I got it all. Alright, I think we're ready now for, I think we're done. Yep. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. Peace, and make the 2 in 1.